to ask you people, आप यहां क्यों हैं? Why are you here? That's my question to you today. And I want everyone to give an answer. You can type in the chat box. You don't have to unmute. It's just easier that way. आप यहाँ क्यों हैं? मैं यहाँ क्यों हूं? मैं आपकी तरफ से बोल रहा हूं. मुझे तो पता है मैं यहाँ क्यों हूं, क्योंकि मैं स्कूल कोच हूं और मैं हर एक टीचर की इज्जत करता हूं और मैं हर एक टीचर की सेवा करना चाहता हूं. मैं चाहता हूं इस देश का हर एक टीचर होनहार बने, बिकॉज जब टीचर होनहार बनेगा तभी टीचर की इज्जत बढ़ेगी. ये बड़ी अजीब चीज है. हम कहते हैं हम टीचर की इज्जत नहीं करते. हमारे टीचर होनहार है ही नहीं तो हम इज्जत किसकी करें? So teacher has to be absolutely well skilled. Teacher has to be brilliant. Yes, thank you, Uday. To learn. Beautiful. And I'm like the way you use to learn, to learn. It's brilliant writing because it says learn to learn. That's the beauty. And you put learn to learn. I think that's brilliant. Absolutely. We are here, learn to learn. We are here to read, we are here to reflect, and we are here to build relationships. सुमन मैम ने तो हमारी मिशन स्टेटमेंट ही हमको पढ़ा दी. थैंक यू सुमन. ब्रिलियंट. What else are we here for? सोचिए सोचिए प्लीज. टाइप करते चले जाइए. कोई बात नहीं, चैप्टर तो हम खत्म कर लेंगे. चैप्टर तो क्लास में भी होता है, परंतु ये डायलॉग क्लास में नहीं होता कभी भी, जो आज यहाँ पे हो रहा है. यार रीडिंग बेस्ट करने के लिए बहुत अच्छा रूबल ने लिखा. रूबल बहुत अच्छा. और मैं आपको सही चीज बताऊं, जो आप लोग ब्लॉग पोस्ट लिख रहे हैं, मुझे वो पढ़ने में बहुत आनंद आता है. एक तो मेरी भाषा में है, और दूसरा उसमें जो आप लिखते हैं वो दिल से होता है, और जो काम दिल से किया जाता है उससे दिल जीता जाता है. सो आप लिखते रहिए. बहुत अच्छा. आप चैट में जैसे मर्जी लिख लीजिए. ये आप, इसमें कोई इंग्लिश ग्रामर का रूल नहीं है, क्योंकि हमारी मिक्स क्लास है. हम पावर ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन देखते हैं. यहाँ पे कोई हिंदी इंग्लिश का भेदभाव नहीं है. तो आप चैट में जैसे मर्जी लिख दीजिए, रोमन हिंदी में, जैसे भी आपको अच्छा लगता हो. परंतु आपको ये सोचना है एक सेकेंड कि आप यहाँ क्यों हैं. मुझे ये स्टेटमेंट बहुत अच्छी लगी उदय भानु सर की, लर्न टू लर्न. I think that is a very important thing, because that exactly is what Learning Forward says. That as a professional learning community, we have to learn to learn. We don't have to educate. We don't have to teach. We have to learn to learn. And that's the only thing humans do best. Keep taking your learning forward. So बहुत खूब. अब मैं और समय व्यर्थ नहीं करूंगा. मैं आपको दो चीजें दिखाऊंगा चलने से पहले. एक बार मैं आपको ले जाऊंगा अपनी वेबसाइट पे. थोड़ा सा आपको वाकिफ करा देता हूं वेबसाइट से, ताकि आप उसको नेविगेट कर सकें. अब आप मेरा पूरा स्क्रीन नहीं देखेंगे, आप केवल एक टैब देखेंगे. तो गुड स्कूल अलायंस का मतलब है, जैसे सर ने लिखा, लर्न टू लर्न, एम्ब्रेसिंग द जॉय ऑफ लर्निंग. और जब जॉय ऑफ लर्निंग एग्जिस्ट करेगी, वो कब करेगी? जब इंडिविजुअल, स्कूल्स और सारे मिलकर एक लव फॉर लर्निंग के चैंपियन बनेंगे. आप स्कूल क्यों जाते हैं? आप स्कूल जाते हैं अपनी इज्जत, आइडेंटिटी बनाने के लिए, पहचान बनाने के लिए, स्पिरिचुअल एस्थेटिक अवेयरनेस के लिए, डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए, बेटर हेल्थ एंड हाइजीन के लिए, इंटेलेक्चुअल ग्रोथ के लिए, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स के लिए, रिलेशनशिप्स के लिए, एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑप्शंस के लिए, सिटीजनशिप के लिए, एनवायरमेंटल अवेयरनेस के लिए. सो इसलिए आप स्कूल जाते हैं, और ये माय गुड स्कूल का लर्निंग मैप है. हमारा विजन क्या है? We are on an exciting mission to transform schools by fostering a culture of trust and encouraging lifelong learning. Very simple. ये single sentence है, इसको आप confuse मत कीजिए. This is what we are here for, fostering a culture of trust and learning. Learning Forward affiliates in USA, Canada, and India are dedicated to enhancing excellence and equity in professional development. आप और हम यहाँ पे हैं. इसमें हम कोई भेदभाव नहीं करते. हम चाहते हैं हर एक कोई हमारे पास आए, गांव से, शहर से, इंडिया से, फॉरेन से. हम कोई डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं लाते जब हम अपना प्रोग्राम करते हैं. इन इंडिया, आवर गुड स्कूल्स अलायंस इज कमिटेड टू अनलॉकिंग द यूनिक पोटेंशियल इन एवरी चाइल्ड. लेट्स एम्ब्रेस दिस जर्नी टुगेदर. This is a small letter which Dr. Manmohan Singh wrote to us, appreciating what we do. ये मैं आपको आज दिखाना चाहता हूं. How are we doing all this? So Manisha keeps talking about this, and Meenakshi is trying to understand what this is. ये हमारा मेन जो मुख्य मुद्दा है, हमने क्यों बनाया गुड स्कूल अलायंस, हमारा मिशन क्या है. हमारा मिशन क्या है कि आप और हम क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्रिएटिविटी, कोलैबोरेशन, कम्युनिकेशन, कैरेक्टर तथा सिटीजनशिप की तरफ ध्यान दें और प्रोग्राम और ऐसी पार्टनरशिप बनाएं जिसमें हर एक बच्चा और टीचर और इंडिविजुअल सीख सके। और हमारा फोकस है रीडिंग, रिफ्लेक्शन और रिलेशनशिप पे। सो हमने एक ग्राफिक में सब कुछ समझा दिया। वी डू थ्री थिंग्स। वी हैव माई गुड स्कूल ऑन संडे फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, वी हैव द टीचर्स अकेडमी लाइक टुडे फ्राइडे एंड टुमारो सैटरडे, and we have the my good school retreat which is currently twice a year. I hope it will become 4 next year. That's all I wanted to show you. If you can navigate more and find more details, please go ahead, इसको आप देख लेना। यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ है। अबाउट अस पेज पे भी जाना, आपको बहुत कुछ मिलेगा। आप समझने की कोशिश किए आप क्या कर रहे हैं, एम्पावरिंग फ्यूचर generations. Now on that note, I'll go to the book. Hello everyone, welcome to Brewing Knowledge Friday. This is a very special Friday as we are adding some new teachers, new learning champions to our Friday evening session. We appreciate each one of you who find out time for us. Before we go ahead, I will just do a little recap, which I have done in your Brewing Knowledge WhatsApp group. And where are we now? We have discussed how learning occurs by exploring concepts in Kamala Mukandaya's book, What Did You Ask at School Today? A Handbook of Child Learning. There are some takeaways from the last session. I think I need to share those to read ahead because I'm going to read from here. Learning involves constructivism, where knowledge is built upon existing schemas in the brain. So that was the first thing we learned, constructivism. इसका मतलब आप और हम मिलके जैसे एक मजदूरी करके बिल्डिंग बनाते हैं, आप और हम मिलके ऐसे ही नॉलेज क्रिएट करते हैं। कुछ आप बताते हैं, कुछ हम बताते हैं, और इसे कहते हैं कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म। और ये कैसे इंप्लीमेंट होती है, हमारे ब्रेन में कोई पैटर्न्स होते हैं, वो पैटर्न नॉलेज को असिमिलेट करते हैं और इसको बोलते हैं स्कीमास। सेकंड, conceptual change in learning is gradual and requires exposing students to examples which current brain patterns can't explain. Every brain is different, every child is different. So when you are trying to learn or you're trying to teach, every individual is different. So that's how complex conceptual change is. And finally, effective teaching includes conversations, discussions, open-ended questions, and journal writing to understand students' schemas or what their thought is. Schemas can also be called thought. आपके mind में क्या thought pattern है। फिर हमने एक स्टोरी पढ़ी थी, द ओल्ड हाफ प्लेयर। कैसे एक ओल्ड मैन जब वो हाफ बजाना, कोई उसको सुनना नहीं चाहता, वो ग्रेव यार्ड में जाके हाफ बजाता है। सो दिस स्टोरी इज फ्रॉम द बुक कॉल्ड द बुक ऑफ रूमी। सो इसको हम नेक्स्ट स्टोरी आज पढ़ेंगे। सो हियर वी गो, टुडेज रीडिंग। वेरियस अदर गुड टीचिंग प्रैक्टिसेस encourage conceptual learning. Here are some suggestions from the research to help your students gain an understanding of the basic principles and relationships in mathematics, for example. We are only giving an example for maths. Ask your students the right questions. Psychologists have classified the questions that mathematics teachers ask into different types. Most questions are of the kind, what is the answer to so and so? But some teachers also ask, how would you do this so and so? And why is this the right answer? Questions of how and why kind are less common, but they aid conceptual understanding. And the students of teachers who ask such questions are better at mathematics. This will hold true for every subject. This occurs even when student does not actually answer the question. Merely thinking about it encourages higher level conceptualizations. So don't push or don't waste your effort sometimes to push and elicit an answer. As long as you've asked a good question, let the student think in his mind. It is not fair on your part to say he has not answered or she has not answered, so they're at the wrong side. No, it's not that way. There could be some reason when the person thinks slowly, when the person absorbs slowly, and when the person reflects deeper. Ask your students for different ways of solving a problem. Seeing the alternative methods yield the same result and understanding why will promote conceptual learning. Almost every problem has multiple means of solution. So this is an easy idea to practice. We explain this even in productive failure on Saturday when we meet. Saturday for the new people, we have a master class, same time, same place for me. I hope for you also. And we read the book, Productive Failure, in a similar tone, but it's a little bit of more hard work. Encourage them to classify different problems according to how they must be solved. Problems that appear superficially different have common underlying structures, and recognizing this will strengthen conceptual understanding. You might have to collect problems or write your own for this. Most textbooks cluster the problems according to method, so that this challenge is never given to the student till they face an examination. Have your students teach a concept to someone else. Actually, psychological research shows that even reading something with the intention of teaching is it to another improves conceptual understanding. Ensure the word problems in mathematics are set in context familiar to relevant or relevant to the student. This is important. In language teaching, you can encourage conceptual understanding by showing students earlier drafts and finished pieces of writing by other writers, yourself, senior students. Now, if you go, we have a blog, and our blog, whether it is happyteacher.in or joyoflearningdiaries.com, are great examples to show how individuals, teachers, and students have evolved by looking at their earlier drafts and new finished pieces. They can thus learn for themselves what has been changed or corrected. So आप जब मनीषा मैम को ड्राफ्ट बेचते हैं, मनीषा मैम मुझे पिंग करती हैं, हम कुछ ना कुछ उसको इम्प्रूव करते हैं. Try and find out what that improvement is. That will be your learning to learn. Students can edit each other's work as well as their own. In history teaching, the students can be shown different versions of the same event and encouraged to think about how history is represented, interpreted, and therefore constructed. They can examine evidence from primary sources such as travelers' accounts or interviews with people, which can then be compared with the theories and explanations in their textbooks. Whichever subject you teach, let your students learn to ask the right questions. An even more valuable skill than giving the right answers. Use analogies, models, or graphic organizers to explain concepts. We will see some examples. Encourage them to talk about, describe, explain, elaborate what they learn. They can keep journals to record in their own words what they used to know before a class and how their understanding has changed. So we've come exactly to what we are doing: reading, reflection, and relationships. I urge you, I encourage you, I coax you, and I push you to please write reflections. Don't just come here for the radio show. I'm sorry, saying very hard. You come here to enjoy reading. I love that. And please keep reading. If you can find time after reading, please write. You can even write down what we have spoken. You can even make notes and share with us. We would love that absolutely. But please write. Please write. Absolutely. That's important as much as reading. Understanding the solar system using analogies. If sun is a pumpkin, the earth is roughly small as a mustard seed. And they are roughly 50 m apart. If the sun is a mustard seed and earth is 50 cm away, the nearest star is roughly 60 kilometers away. So this is a nice example of showing figuratively and conceptually. Solving algebraic equations using the gift wrapping model and the balance scale model. Here's another example. To model the rearranging of an equation, wrap an object in a paper, place it in a box, and tie it up with a string. To open this gift, you have to unwrap it in strictly reverse order. The steps shown are wrong because it is like trying to open the box without first untying the string. So there's a problem here. 2x plus 4 divided by 7 is equal to 10. Or 2x by 7 is equal to 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. Okay. Remind the students to always ask themselves how the gift was wrapped so as to know how to unwrap it. In the expression below, they have to be able to first be multiplied x by 2. Then we add 4. Then we divided the result by 7. So this is how they have decoded the whole process. To solve an equation with one unknown using fruits, lemons work well with weights. So here they have tried to show how you can balance and find the x factor. Discovery learning. So conceptual learning we've been talking about. Now let's look at discovery learning. A powerful method for conceptual change is the process of self-directed discovery, especially in science and mathematics. Discovery learning has become an extremely attractive idea in Indian educational circles of late. In a typical discovery learning setup, students are given access to a range of suitable materials, and through self directed experimentation, it is hoped that they will actively construct the knowledge to accomplish conceptual change. From a constructivist point of view, this is an excellent scenario. It is usually contrasted with the expository approach, where the teacher has prepared a lesson and presents it lecture style, or the class follows a textbook closely. The table below describes the main advantages and disadvantages of exposition. So let's grab this table. We grab this table and we go back to Brewing Knowledge, and we add this table for your reference. Is there with you in your chat box on WhatsApp. Exploratory classes do not rule out the possibility of constructive learning. Students can discover from learning attentively to a well delivered lecture, making connections between what is present and what they know already. But such classes must be well prepared, keep the students' interests and backgrounds in mind, and be peppered with plenty of discussion and questions to keep students on their toes. Peppered का मतलब होता है तैयार होके. Unfortunately, too many exploratory classes end with up as monologues. Remember, you need to do two things for a student to learn something new. Activate relevant existing schemas. उसका thought process को activate करना. And fit new information into existing schemas. In expository teaching, there is a danger that the first will not happen. And the dismal failure of this approach has therefore prompted a swing in favor of the discovery approach. Yet, in discovery learning, the second may not happen if the student never comes across the new information to be learned. A study conducted by Ilonka Hardy and others in Germany illustrates the problem with the pure delivery approach and a way to get around it. These researchers conducted a short 8-session course for 8-year-olds in Germany on floating and sinking. The students had never encountered the topic in a formal science class. It is a rather advanced one. The question posed to the student for an investigation was, why does a large iron ship float? Young children typically answer questions of floating and sinking with reference to one variable only. Heavy things sink, or big things sink, or things with holes in them can float. A scientific explanation carries the relationship between the densities of the object and the surrounding fluid, and between gravitational and buoyancy forces. Can we hope that this knowledge developed in scientific detail by physicists will be spontaneously discovered by young children? It's a tough call. So let's look at it. So here we're looking at buoyancy. To this end, several materials were made freely available during the course. Chunks of varying size and form or everyday objects made from materials such as wood, metal, wax, clay, and so on. See how discovery learning is happening. डिस्कवरी लर्निंग में हम बच्चों को ऑब्जेक्ट्स दे रहे हैं और वो उनको फ्लोट कराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. द मटेरियल्स वर डिजाइन्ड टू प्रोवाइड अपॉर्चुनिटीज टू टेस्ट द हाइपोथेसिस. For instance, two pieces of the same volume but different material could show that the floating does not depend solely on volume. Experimental sites were also set up by containing instructions, tips, hints, and guiding questions. And there was a teacher present in the course. The study compared two methods of learning, what we might call pure discovery and guided discovery. One group of students was left free to play with their materials, set up their own experiments, and do various worksheets as they liked, called low instruction support. Manisha and Minakshi, see, it's very close to what we are doing in productive failure. The teacher in this group was available to encourage discussions and make occasional observations, but did not structure the learning in any way. Many spontaneous discussions emerged, and the learning was definitely student centered. The students were completely free to initiate, do, and learn what they wished. A second group received structured guidance from the teacher, who sequenced the course into 8 topics and conducted focused discussions called high instructional support. The students were led through experiments and completed worksheets in a fixed sequence. The course was designed to systematically change their concepts of floating and sinking by exposing them to counterexamples which would encourage them to modify their knowledge schemas, how they think. In this group, every student received the benefit of instruction, but there was little freedom in terms of initiating experiments and activities. What happened? The two groups did equally well on immediate test of conceptual understanding, and better than a baseline group of children who had not gone through the course. But on a follow up test given a year later, the children in the low instructional group or pure discovery slipped in their performance. Several misconceptions returned for this group, unlike the guided discovery group who maintained their understanding even a year later. Like this study, there is a body of research showing that guided discovery is superior to pure discovery for efficient learning, memory, and transfer to new problems. Richard Mayer, an educational psychologist, made an impassioned plea in a 2005 paper to stop equating constructivist with hands on. He often mistakenly assumed that constructivist learning implies behaviorally active students. Popular examples of behavioral activity are like hands on work, discussion, group work, and a free exploration of materials. However, Mayer stressed that behavioral activity is neither a necessary nor a sufficient condition to show that constructivist learning has occurred. In fact, cognitive activity, to look at incoming information, select what is relevant in the given situation, organize and integrate it with existing knowledge, is what we need. As teachers, it may not be enough for us to change the look of our classroom, while that may be beneficial for its own sake. Lots of activity, movement, and student participations are not ends in themselves. We teachers have to structure our lessons, sequence and teaching of concepts appropriately, and pose challenging questions. Sorry about that. We teachers have to structure our lessons, sequence the teaching of conceptual concepts appropriately, and pose challenging questions. If we are following a well written textbook, much of this is taken care of. With this strong foundation, hands on activity, and time for student initiated open discussions are much more beneficial. Ultimately, the way we look at learning will determine the way we teach. and even small or gradual changes in our teaching will be beneficial. We now turn to the second area of learning. So what we will do, we will keep this summary, and Manisha, we will do procedural knowledge and skill learning next time. Is that good? Because today we have talked of discovery learning.
That would be perfect, sir.
Yeah, so this is enough to think, because this is 20 minutes of good thought. I will share the video of this conversation. I will also share the summary of this session in the Brewing Knowledge WhatsApp group. So you will not miss out on anything. And next week, we will create a bookmark for this. So what we do is we essentially take a screenshot of where we left and we add this to your WhatsApp chat. So I'll go to the Brewing Knowledge WhatsApp chat. I will add a bookmark. What will be the date for this bookmark, please? 25th. So we will meet Friday 25th for reading this book ahead. Is that okay? Are we happy with this? Why I'm stopping here? Because I'm very keen to read the story from the other book. किसी को मेरे से कोई सवाल पूछना है? Do you want to ask me any question on discovery learning? May I suggest कि आप लोग इस किताब को प्राप्त करें. आपके स्कूल में एक दो प्रतियां जरूर होनी चाहिए, और इस किताब के बारे में जब आप डिस्कशन करें, रिफ्लेक्शन करें और आपस में एक दूसरे से बात करें, तभी आपकी कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म और डिस्कवरी लर्निंग होगी, और तभी उदय सर ने जो बोला, लर्न टू लर्न होगा. मुगल सराय में मुझे मैम ने अश्योर किया शी हैज ऑल द बुक्स, सो आई सजेस्ट अदर स्कूल्स, प्लीज प्लीज गेट दीज बुक्स. इवन इफ योर स्कूल डजंट बाय, 200-300 की किताबें हैं. आप एक दिन खाना कम खाइए, पर ये किताब जरूर मंगा लीजिए. ये अच्छी किताब है, मिलके पढ़िए. अगर आप हिंदी मीडियम में हैं, धीरे धीरे पढ़िए. अपने साथ जो इंग्लिश में पढ़ सकते हैं उनसे सहायता लीजिए. हमारे से कॉन्वर्सेशन कीजिए, हमारे से पूछिए. हम आपकी सेवा में हमेशा हैं. अब हम क्या करेंगे, हम किंडल लाइब्रेरी में दोबारा जाएंगे. इज माई स्क्रीन विजिबल टू एवरीवन?
यस सर.
सो अगर आप मेरी लाइब्रेरी देखेंगे, मेरी लाइब्रेरी फिजिकल भी है, जो आप देखते हैं जब मेरी फोटो देखते हैं, मेरा वीडियो देखते हैं. मेरी लाइब्रेरी वर्चुअल भी है. ये मेरी वर्चुअल लाइब्रेरी है, और इसमें भी बहुत किताबें हंड्रेड्स में हैं. सो ज्यादातर आई थिंक मैं इसमें 99% पढ़ चुका हूँ. एक दो पढ़ने लायक होंगी. उम्मीद है मुझे भगवान श्वास देगा, मैं वो भी पढ़ लूंगा, पर ऐसा कभी होता नहीं. भगवान श्वास पहले मंगा लेता है और पहले बंद कर देता है, ताकि अब सारी किताबें ना पढ़ सकें, कुछ दूसरों के लिए छोड़ दें. तो अब हम रूमी की किताब में आ गए. रूमी ऐसी बातें बहुत करता है, एंजल्स की, भगवान की, आफ्टर लाइफ की. सो आज हमारी कहानी रूमी में से है, द सेलर एंड द प्रोफेसर. कैन एवरीवन सी द स्क्रीन? You can say yes in
Yes,
the
sir.
chat box. Okay, brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. I am sure you can read very carefully on the screen. The sailor and the professor. It was late in the day, and the professor needed to cross the water to get back to the island where he lived. He jumped into the first boat he chanced upon and ordered the sailor to take him home as fast as he could. The boat slowly pulled away from the harbor, and the professor made himself comfortable on the deck. He took one long look at the sailor and decided this man must be illiterate. And before he could control his tongue, he blurted out pompously, "Have you ever been to school or studied any literature?" "No," said the sailor innocently. "Then you have missed out on half of your life, my good man." The sailor was deeply insulted but didn't respond, carrying on with his work and waiting for an opportune moment to take his revenge. ये हम सबके साथ होता है. कई बार हमारे साथ कोई अपने आप को ज़्यादा काबिल समझता है, और हम अपने आप को बड़े सहम से जाते हैं और महसूस करते हैं कि हमारी काबिलियत में कुछ कमी है, और हम सोचते हैं कि हमारे पास जो स्किल्स हैं ये शायद मुझे पहचान नहीं पाए. Almost halfway through their journey, the weather turned and the vicious storm kicked up. The sailor had finally chanced upon his moment of sweet revenge. Cunningly, he asked the professor, who was already white with fright. कितना बढ़िया expression है. White with fright. Most revered master professor, do you know how to swim? Don't be silly. Of course not, my handsome and capable friend. He stammered squeamishly. Oh, what a pity, because now you are going to miss out on the rest of your life. The boat is caught up in a whirlpool, and the only way out is to swim. Now, all your precious literature can help you one bit. You thought me an idiot. Now look at you, stuck in the mud like an ass. Here's your bookmark. Any thoughts? I want people to talk after reading this very powerful story by Rumi. What is your takeaway from the story? Uday sir? I would like your takeaway, please. Please write in the chat box. I give you 2 minutes. You can write in the chat box. If you want to talk, please unmute and talk. The bookmark for today's session has been added from this book. I don't have to share the book anymore. I'm back in the room. Discuss, decide, and act. Good. Skills are important. The skill to swim would have saved him. Brilliant. Absolutely. रीडिंग बेस्ट करने के लिए बहुत अच्छे. रूबल ने लिखा ये हम यहाँ क्यों हैं, बहुत अच्छे. ये मैं ऊपर के कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा हूँ. यू कैन रीना जी, आप अनम्यूट कर सकती हैं. ये सेलर वाली कहानी से आप क्या घर लेके जा रही हैं? प्रोफेसर और सेलर की कहानी. व्हाट इज योर टेक अवे? व्हाट इज योर रिफ्लेक्शन? यू कैन इवन राइट इन द व्हाट्सएप चैट बॉक्स इफ यू वांट. इफ यू फील दैट अभी आपके पास टाइम नहीं है यहाँ पे लिखने का, आप जो आपकी थॉट आती है ऑन टुडेज स्टोरी about the professor and the sailor, you can even share with us later if you comes to you, because that's what I read in the book. Ki if a child doesn't answer, doesn't mean child hasn't understood. Possibly the child is thinking and reflecting. So I'm sure you are thinking and reflecting. So do think about it. Do think about the story. I know today's session is very short. It's just half an hour of reading. There was so much more to share, and that's how our sessions go. They go at a very leisure pace. The video recording of the session is normally available next day. First, we used to do it same day, but now we have started breathing and sleeping over it. So we give you a better video next morning. This video recording will be available on our YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share my screen and show you some more resources. हम यहाँ पे थे जब हम देख रहे थे गुड स्कूल अलायंस की वेबसाइट पे. यहाँ एक टैब है जिसको बोलते हैं जॉय ऑफ लर्निंग. मेन्यू में ये हमारा प्रोग्राम है यूथ एंगेजिंग सोसाइटी. गुड स्कूल्स ऑफ इंडिया हमारा न्यूज़लेटर है. ये न्यूज़लेटर प्रकाशित होता है मंडे को सुबह 7 बजे. इस न्यूज़लेटर के अंदर अगर आप सब्सक्राइब करना चाहें, आप सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं. और इसमें आप देख रहे हैं पिछले 20-22 इशू नजर आ रहे हैं with little screenshots of the cover pages. ये जो न्यूज़लेटर है, इस न्यूज़लेटर में आपको क्या मिलेगा? मैं आपको एक न्यूज़लेटर खोल के दिखा देता हूँ. इस न्यूज़लेटर में आपको बेसिकली लास्ट वीक की सारी रिकॉर्डिंग्स, हाइलाइट्स एंड समथिंग अबाउट न्यू बुक्स मिलेंगी. फिर जॉय ऑफ लर्निंग डायरीज में जाएंगे तो आपको नेक्स्ट टैब है यूट्यूब चैनल। सो ये सारा कुछ वेबसाइट पे है, आपको यूट्यूब पे जाने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। सो आप देखिए लास्ट वीक की सेशन रिकॉर्डिंग्स आपको यहाँ सारी मिल जाएंगी, और नीचे जाएंगे तो उससे पहले की भी रिकॉर्डिंग मिल जाएंगी हर एक सेशन की। सो ये आपको सब कुछ वेबसाइट से मिल जाता है। वेबसाइट का है schooleducation.com। अगर आप फेलोशिप प्रोग्राम के लिए साइन करना चाहें उसका भी एक पेज है। आपके बच्चे इंटर्नशिप्स के लिए साइन करना चाहें उसका भी एक पेज है। और उसके अलावा दो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें और हैं। अगर आप इंग्लिश बुक डेपो विजिट करना चाहें वो भी आप वर्चुअली कर सकते हैं। यहाँ से आप जाके बुक शॉप वेबसाइट खोलिए, आप पूरी दुकान ब्राउज कर सकते हैं। ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग फीचर है, आप प्लीज कीजिए। और किताब कोई आपको चाहिए हो हम आपको हेल्प करने को तैयार हैं। वी आर हैप्पी टू गिफ्ट बुक्स ऑल्सो इफ यू नीड, वील बी हैप्पी टू डू दैट। फिर एक टैब है पॉडकास्ट का। हमने एक तकरीबन 300 पॉडकास्ट की लाइब्रेरी बनाई ओवर द इयर्स, सो यू कैन लिसन टू देम। कई लोग पॉडकास्ट प्रेफर करते हैं और कई लोग वीडियोस प्रेफर करते हैं। वी लाइक केटरिंग टू एवरी सॉर्ट ऑफ लर्नर। फिर वेबसाइट पे एक चीज और है, हम जीएसए का इम्पैक्ट, ये रिपोर्ट है 27 जून को रिलीज हुई है। प्लीज सी दिस रिपोर्ट। देयर इज नथिंग मोर ऑन दिस। वी हैव 3 programs: माई गुड स्कूल, टीचर्स अकेडमी। I only want to take you to the YouTube channel because that's where you will find the videos. So let us say आपने लास्ट टाइम वाला देखना है, ये 12 जुलाई वाला है। आप यहाँ क्लिक करेंगे, ये YouTube चैनल। तो जैसे हमने आज का सेशन किया, ये सेशन पूरा यहाँ मिलेगा आपको। और थोड़ी सी हम मेहनत और भी करते हैं, इस सेशन के नीचे हम नोट्स भी बना देते हैं, जैसे आप क्लास में नोट्स बनाते हैं। तो अगर आप सेशन में कुछ असिमुलेट नहीं कर पाए, प्राप्त नहीं कर पाए, तो आप प्लीज यहाँ पे नोट्स पर लीजिएगा। और मैंने कुछ दिखाना नहीं, इसको मैं स्टॉप शेयरिंग कर देता हूँ। वेबसाइट में दिखा चुका हूँ आपको, लास्ट क्लास कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म का वीडियो भी दिखा चुका हूँ। मैं किंडल को बंद कर देता हूँ और मैं वापस अपनी लाइब्रेरी में आ जाता हूँ। ये लाइब्रेरी हमारी देहरादून में है, इसको हम बोलते हैं जॉय ऑफ लर्निंग स्टूडियो। यहाँ बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है, आराम से बैठने की जगह है, पढ़ने की जगह है, कॉफी मशीन है, चाय मशीन है। ये बुक शॉप नहीं है, ये बुक शॉप के ऊपर है। कभी आप देहरादून आए या आना चाहें, हम आपके होस्ट बन सकते हैं। आई विल गो बैक टू द चैट बॉक्स। चंद्रिमा रोड, skills are important. The skill to swim would have saved him. That's what I just read. Then Chandrima even wrote something more. Chandrima, you stole my heart. This is what I wanted to mention about humility. Staying rooted in is very important. Staying rooted is very important, and this is humility. इस कहानी में अहम को खत्म किया है, और ये है इस कहानी की मेन टेकअवे रूमी की किताब में, कि अहम सबसे बड़ा हमारा डिस्ट्रक्टिव एलिमेंट है। स्टेइंग रूटेड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड लर्निंग लाइफ स्किल्स इज अ नेसेसिटी। One must boast of just as degrees. One must not boast, sorry. Degrees along with skill make a good combo. So इसको हम क्या करते हैं, इसे हम करते हैं कॉपी, और जाते हैं व्हाट्सएप में, वहाँ हम कोटेशन मार्क लगाते हैं और वहाँ हम पेस्ट करते हैं, और वहाँ हम इसके आगे लिख देते हैं CHANDRIMA, चंद्रिमा दत्ता। इज दैट राइट?
Yes, sir. Datta.
वेरी गुड। तो इसमें जब मैं ये करता हूं, आई विश आई कुड शो यू दिस। सो एनीवे, इसको मैंने व्हाट्सएप में डाल दिया। कोई इसको कंफर्म कर सकता है आपको मिला कि नहीं? कैन एनीवन ओपन द व्हाट्सएप चैनल एंड सी इफ ऑल द कॉन्वर्सेशन इज देयर?
Yes, sir. Yes.
हाँ, एनीथिंग यू वांट टू आस्क? आपके पास टेक अवे आज के भी आ जाएंगे। इन द नेक्स्ट 20 minutes आई विल पुट देम। Anyone wants to express anything? You want to say you love me? Please say it. Sorry for that's being so arrogant.
We love you, sir. We do really love you.
That was fun. So thank you so much. Let me say thank you to Vidyottama. You dropped in, Suman, Uday, Sakshi, Reena, Jyoti, Swati, Rubal, Chandrima, Sandeep, my namesake, Jyoti, Minakshi, Manisha. God bless you. And please, please, please read. Even if you read 20 minutes a week, it's a lot of reading. And after you read 20 minutes, think about it. ये नहीं कि अभी वीडियो बंद करके फोन बंद करके किचन में चलो दाल बनानी चावल बनाना खाना बनाना भूख लगी चाय पियो नहीं ऐसा नहीं करो 2 मिनट बैठो सोचो कि आप और हम यहाँ क्यों आए थे आज और उसको कहीं
Sir,
लिखो
being grounded and rooted is something that I have actually learned from you. The previous school, Sunbeam Varuna, that you had visited, I had met you there, and the first thing I remember me witnessing you is you got off on your knees and you actually just. I mean, praise the teachers. I remember that so clearly, and that was the very first time that had won my heart. So I really I still talk about it to everyone. I do tell people that I had met somebody, and thank King my school Mughal Sarai once again that I got to reconnect to you once again. Thank you so
brilliant
much.
brilliant I'm so happy Vidyotma says sir sometimes don't understand why people boast about their capabilities and skills I have an answer for that Vidyotma a very simple answer because their knowledge is shallow they don't have the depth of knowledge. They may have acquired information, but they don't have the power to think. And the secret behind success in life is mind, consciousness, and thought. Process in your mind, take it to your consciousness, and once your thought has matured, then take action. So what happens is, like in this case, the professor boasted, तुम्हारे पास डिग्री तो है नहीं. Perhaps the professor didn't realize that the boatman, the sailor, had swum all his life, and he also may have learned swimming not from a coach, but out of necessity, out of struggle. And that is real learning. So people who boast have not struggled, they have just seen the surface. They have not gone beyond opening the package. They are happy with the wrapping. They have not opened the book. They have not read it, but they have the book and they say, मेरे पास books हैं. परंतु एक चीज सोचिए जब आप बुक का कवर पढ़ते हैं ना एक एक अक्षर उस किताब का उसमें ऑथर का खून पसीना होता है इतनी मेहनत लगती है किताब बनाने में सो जब आप बोस्ट करते हैं आप केवल कवर देख के कह जाते हैं ये अच्छा है या बुरा है और हम कई बार जजमेंटल हो जाते हैं एंड दैट्स वेयर लर्निंग स्टॉप्स डोंट एक्सप्रेस योरसेल्फ टू सून डोंट बी जजमेंटल ऑलवेज थिंक एंड टेक अ ब्रेथ दैट्स ऑल यू नीड टू डू and that will change life. So thank you everyone for being here, and I'm so happy that we spent these 2-3 minutes extra. This is my best session. I love the Friday session, honestly. It's a session which I look forward to. I know I do the Saturday one and we do the Sunday one, but Friday is my favorite of all sessions because in this session I to sit down peacefully and think, and that's what the role of a teacher is: learn to learn. Thank you, Uday sir. Thank you, Manisha, for being our principal and host. Thank you for what all you do. Okay, Vidyuta still has a conversation. She's not letting me say thank you. She says thank you, sir. But it's so difficult to make this understanding to little kids. Yeah, I will answer that. I will answer that, definitely. I would love to answer that before you go. So, Vidyotma, kids don't need to be taught. That's the first thing. Kids learn by observation. I have a grandson who was born on 10th of June. No one taught the grandson to listen to a sound. Now, on 40 odd days, the grandson has adapted. जहाँ से sound होता है वो गर्दन घुमा देता है. As simple as that. So, as a teacher, how you behave, the children automatically absorb. You don't have to talk. You don't have to use all your five senses. You have to just be yourself. Some children will learn by hearing, some children will learn by seeing, some children will learn by doing. But those who will learn will be connected with you emotionally, Those who learn will observe you, and observation is the best way of learning. So I hope I answer your question to some extent. This is an endless debate, and I'm happy to do a call for you if you want. So thank you so much. It's been a wonderful evening once again. Bye bye. We are closing now. Thank you.